Good morning, everybody. So, my name is Kobi Karp, and my Turkish is not as good as your English. So, if you allow me, I'll speak in English. When Furkan and his wife, who's really the real boss, asked me to come here and speak in front of you, I said, "What would you like me to speak about?" And they said, "Kobi, we want you to convey the thoughts and the ideas that will take us to the next level in what it is that you do in the United States of America. Usually the projects that we do are different. And what I mean by different, they are different in a way that they help you, and the images, you can put them on a loop so they just go around every 3-4 seconds, so that people don't get bored while I'm talking. The reason I'm here and the reason Furkan and his boss want me here is that we do projects specifically in offices that are different. What is different? The office has changed. I am 64 this year. I have had the pleasure of working in offices since I am 18 years old. I'm an architect, so I work in an office. Some of the offices that I have worked in have been big, some of them have been small, some of them have been in destitute locations. The offices that we design today, they work around the next generation of people who are using these offices. What does that mean? It means that the individual who comes to the office has to have a place that makes them feel at home. Yes. Has to feel like a resort hotel. When you come to the office in the morning, different people come from different backgrounds. Sometimes you come because of stress and duress, or you had an accident, or your wife is pregnant, or your son has a test. Everybody comes with different stories every day, and every day the story is different. So what do? We have an opportunity to create a location and a destination that caters to the person, that gives them a place in the morning where they can have a breakfast, where they can go to the bathroom, where they can take a shower if they came in on a bicycle, where if they finish something and they want to put their thoughts together, they can do it. Now, why do we do it? Yes, we're nice guys, but we don't do that for that. We do that so the individual becomes more productive in the work that they do on a daily basis. What does that mean? I'm an architect. If I come to the office and I'm under stress or duress, or I have to worry about something else, and I don't have a place to take care of my life, my child, my wife, my mother, I then don't focus on my work and I don't produce the best. So we do in reverse, upside down and reverse. We make you feel comfortable in the space, in the location. We give you a place of seclusion, privacy, and so that you can gather your thoughts, so that you can come back and be a better, productive individual in the company that you work with. Now, most people who come to the office on a daily basis, the reason they come to work, they like what they do. Most people like what they do. If you're a doctor, or if you're lawyers, if you're architects, if you do technicals, if you do IT, when you come to work, you want to be as good as you can. So our responsibility as architects is to design the space. The images of the buildings you see behind you are built buildings that we have assembled over the years, and the common denominator is very simple. How do I cater, bless you, how do I cater to you to make it the best place? It's like a resort hotel. We do hotels. We do resorts. When you come and you stay by us, we hug you, we make you feel comfortable so that you have a good experience. If you have a good experience in the office, you become a better employee, you become a better producer, and you have a better relationship with the people that you are working with. Now that becomes important, and you've seen Google and you've seen companies, they make buildings in circles and green space. That is only the prelude to the thought process. It means that, for example, in our offices, and you all are welcome to come and see us in Miami, it's a collection of buildings like a campus, and it has indoor and outdoor spaces. And it's important for people to see the outdoors. Like right now, we're in a room, there's no windows. But if you were to step outside, and when you step out of this room, you'll go mostly to the glass, and then you go get a cafecito and something to eat. But the glass brings you the energy and the feeling of being a better person to behave and to work. So what do? We give you that atmosphere, we create that ambiance. And it's not expensive, it's very simple. We give you places where it is that you become physiologically, mentally, socially a better person. And then what we get in return, continuously and repeatedly, we get better ability from the individuals to be better producers. They work better with each other. There's less fighting. There's more collaboration. There's more thought. People then focus on what it is that they want to focus on. And I'll give you an example. The building that you see behind me is a residential building, and there's an annex to it of offices. The people who took the space there came from big companies from San Francisco. They moved to Florida. They moved to Florida because COVID and the weather and all the nonsense that you all have heard about. But really, what we got them at, they have a quality of life, of health, that makes them feel at home. And that is what we do. We take the buildings, and of course the buildings are sustainable and they are resilient. They're designed with solar panels so we can collect all the energy into low voltage wires and battery packs. Why is that important? Because in Florida we have hurricanes. When the hurricanes come, you then lose the power. When you lose the power, we have the generator. The generator is already running because it's connected to the battery pack that already took the energy from the solar panel. Now we have you 100% off the grid, and we save money. So what did we do? We use sustainability and resiliency, which is a good gesture, to be the one thing that everybody cares about, return on investment. Everybody cares about the money. Kobi, I'm not going to do it unless I know how it is that I make the money. We use solar panels on all the roofs, not only to make them green spaces, but to make them a place where we can get a return on the investment. So we are in Florida, it's a sunshine state. We get a little bit more sun than you get here in Istanbul. But in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, we have Masdar, where we have a lot of solar panels, and we collect all the sun. We collect it into batteries. So when we do have a power outage, you don't stop. And if you don't stop, and the employees don't stop, and the staff don't stop, we are then getting the return on investment. So yes, we are good guys. We make a good, sustainable, and good design. That's a given. It's like everybody in this room. Everybody in this room, hopefully, has the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the spine in the right place in an efficient manner. There's no difference between you and the person sitting next to you, man or woman. The only difference is one thing and one thing only. It's the outside. On the outside, we're all different. I have 2 boys. Same mother, I saw them come out, hopefully the same father. But on the outside, they're completely different. And that's architecture. Architecture is what you are on the outside. But on the inside, if you can figure out how to do what it is that we are talking about this morning, you'll become successful doing an office building, which is not an office anymore. It's a lifestyle. It's a quality of life. I want to go to work. Why? I like it there. It feels good. I spend 8 hours. No. I spend 12 hours. No. I work hard. I like to go there from 5 to 9 instead of 9 to 5. Now, if I can give you that comfort, and you can have a place where you can take a nap, and your kid can come and visit you, and or you can take care of your personal business, and just have a few minutes alone, but then come back and be with everybody together, I'm making you better for that day. And when I make you better for the day, you become a better employee, a better person. Now, that makes you a better person for the company. So in my office, we have architects. Architects are different than lawyers. They're artistic. They're a little creative. They don't care all the time about money until they have to pay the bills. But architects, interior designers, creative. Now we're starting with AI. Whether you like it or not, AI is very important for us. But AI, for it to work in our business, in the lawyer's business, it has still to have input, but the human race. So whether you like it or not, the computers are important, but they're not the solution. The solution is still the people. And what happens is that we as architects, now we're designing these creative spaces where I make you better, where there's a gym and there's exercise and there's Pilates, yoga, meditation. Everybody's different. And that's what we do. So 30% of the space goes into making those value creation spaces. So the net leasable area that is supposed to make you money becomes the gross leasable area. But guess what happens? The guys or the girls, they go, they exercise, and when they go and they exercise and they start to talk to each other, sometimes they talk about the personal life and social life, but usually they talk about what it is that they do on a daily basis. So now they're in a sauna or they exercise and they're talking about work. They go and they have a little pods to sit around and they smoke a cigarette outside. And what do? They start talking about work. The food, the lunches, whether it comes and gets couriered in or they make it there with the chefs that we provide. After 5 minutes, they talk about their work because that's what they like. If you're a lawyer, what kind of case I got? If you're trying to solve the technology of how to make the ability to enter your residence with safety and security. I'm giving you a specific example. Today, when we design a building, we used to have a card. You come in, you pull out the card, you put it in, the card. Today, forget it. Eye scans. So the minute you have that kind of a thought process, you save time. It's easier to come into the office. I'm carrying my bicycle, I'm carrying my stuff. I scan, I go in. I can relax and I can breathe. And guess what? The office becomes my resort hotel, becomes my destination, becomes where I want to be. We had in Florida COVID. Everybody had COVID around the world, right? Some places, they close them down. In my office, we kept it open. Some people came and said, oh no, my grandmother is old, I can't, I need to go home, I need to work remote. No problem. After 1 week, 2 weeks, people called me up. Say, Kobi, I want to come back. My neighbor is yelling. My wife is screaming at me. The dog is barking all day long. I like the office. It's nice. It's quiet. I have a glass window and I can see the trees. I can go exercise upstairs. I can go outside and I can play paddle. I can have my friends come over and we can have something to eat. I can go take a nap on hammocks. We make hammocks. Why? It's cheaper than to buy beds, and people love it. So they take a nap, then they wake up, and then they start to work again. And when they do that, they feel that they want to provide for you, for the business, for themselves. It's not about the money. Money used to be important. Now, for the next generation, what I'm seeing is quality of life. Kobi, where'd you grow up? Minneapolis, Minnesota. Very nice. Ooh, too cold. It's like Sweden, it's like Finland. I want to live in a nice place. Florida is the only subtropical weather in the lower 48 states of the United States of America. If you want to have a good quality of life, if you want to get up in the morning, if you want to go to your office and walk around the campus and get your steps in, it's where you go. You can work, and then you can take a break and have good weather. Think about it. Sunday afternoon was nice here. You went to the Bosphorus, you watched a sunset. Monday, not bad. Today, no good. When you have a good quality of life in your office, you have places to go in your office inside. Now I'm making you indirectly a better employee. I'm making you a better lawyer, a better architect, a better engineer. When you are trying to solve technology and you're working around the clock, you have a good quality of life. You no longer have to work in a garage to create Apple. You no longer have to work in a garage and create a little scenario where you're making new drones that fly around the rooms and can pick up the information for you to build the next building. The buildings you see here are buildings we designed and we built already. They're history. The next generation of design that we are working on today has to be for the next generation, for people in their 20s. Don't forget, people finish high school at the age of 18. Some go to college. Some think that college is a waste of time. From 18 to 58, you are working. 40 years. Average. Many people who like their work continue to work into the 70s and 80s because it keeps them alive longer. If I give you a resort hotel lifestyle, place to work, forget the word office. The word office doesn't exist anymore. Quality of space, quality of time, quality of location. You lose the ability to focus on the time. And I'll give you an exercise where we picked that exercise up. Airplanes. To fly to Istanbul on Turkish Air, to Hong Kong, to Germany. When you get on the plane, I make you forget about the plane. I give you entertainment, and I give you TVs, and I give you Wi-Fi, and I give you food, and I give you beverage, and you speak to nobody except yourself. But the quality of time is not bad. When you go to a resort hotel, we do Rosewood Hotel, we do Four Seasons Hotel, we do hotel and resorts in the Caribbean for decades. We bring you there and we make sure you stay with us and you spend the time with us and you spend your money and you spend your quality time with us. This is the psychology and the thought process that we implement into the offices. So what happens? You want to live near the office. We designed the office building. The developer says, I want to live nearby. I like this idea. It's like a campus. Okay, good. Give me a residential building nearby, Kobi. Okay. Now we make money on the residential, and we have the office. The office is the heart. The residential is the component. Also, wait, I need to have services for the residential. Sometimes I have my mother, I have clients, they come, they stay only for a day or two, give them a little hotel. So the heart has parts that are part of the development. So no longer do we do office building, residential building, hotel building, shopping. No, we combine it all together and we take the walls away. We make you have an ability to walk from space to space together. That gives us an opportunity then to create value where none existed before. So when somebody looks at a parcel of land at a location and says, show me the design. The design is the architecture on the outside. Some people like black glass building today, and tomorrow they want silver glass building, and next day they want bronze. that changes with you and your mood and who you are on a daily basis. Forget that. On the inside, by putting the parts of the campus, of the development together, is how we create the value. If I can create the value for you, as an architect, as a designer, your thought process about your pro forma, about the value of the location changes. The building you're looking at there was built in an industrial area. It's called Wynwood. Nobody went there. The big development company called Related came to me. The father, he had two sons. He has two sons. The son said to me, Kobi, we like this project. It's great. We have the residential. We love the lifestyle office. It's great. And we have the best tenants. We're going to put them all together and everybody's going to be living together. The two sons, Nick and John Paul, tall, good-looking guys, they said, this is my father. His name is George. George, Related, is a big company, New York and Miami. George says to me, Kobi, you're a nice guy. This is a great opportunity for me to teach my sons what never to do. The sons are right there. Everybody's together. They will see what failure means. Guess what? 2 years later, we finished the building. And the office, little office building, not much, 7,000 square meters, 70,000 square feet, called the Annex. It was rented out to Founders Fund, people from IBM, people from Palantir. They came there. They didn't take a lot of space. They took a little space. But they paid a high number per square foot because they can live here, they can work here, they can eat here. The hospital is nearby. They can put the kids in the school nearby. Everything was there on a bicycle with those little electric scooters. George comes to me, Kobi, you know what? I was wrong. Because he saw the place as a place that nobody has ever lived there. For 30, 40 years, there was an industrial area where we would produce frozen food and clothes and shoes and put it on boats and ships and send it to South America. Like Istanbul here, you make a lot of products, a lot of materials, and you ship it elsewhere. He never thought that the land valuation would be by this kind of a office development. And you need to have the office. Why? The office is the moneymaker. The office is where we all go on a daily basis and produce something. Yes, I'm an architect, I produce that. Some people are real estate brokers. Some people, they lay out floor plans for shopping centers. Some people are contractors. Some people are bankers. Some people are doctors and lawyers. Some people try to invent the light fixtures in the ceiling. That is evolution of the design. So if you stop to think like that, you say, Kobi, where did you come up with this idea? It's not a new idea. This is historically what we used to be as architects and as people. I'll give you an example. If you know Roman or Greek architecture or Egyptian architecture, the agora was where everybody would get together in the town square. They didn't have offices. They didn't have the organization of what we have here. They broke it apart. Everybody was together. That's all we are doing. This building you see on the picture right now, it's residential on the left. This building you see there, it's a home office, boutique office with food and beverage downstairs for multi-faceted individuals with a gallery on the lower floor. In an area that had no value at all, the land was for free. It was a school that wasn't making any money. The minute you change your thought process and you focus on the quality of life that you can deliver to the individual who's working, that's the heart, then the lungs, that's the residential, and then it's everything else that goes along with it, because that's how you are creating the value. When we design only the office use by itself alone, no good. When we design the retail only by itself, no good. When you find a way to put the whole body parts together, then you become a little bit more successful in creating the value for the only person that's important, which is the end user, which is you. If you are able to think like that, then we create value. So I'm 63, 64. I've been doing this since I'm 25 years old. And when I saw how we started to do it 20, 30 years ago in pieces, we never had an opportunity to put the buildings together as one body part. We always had it here and separate from each other. The zoning historically, especially in the United States of America, residences, single family is here, multifamily is here, commercial is here. Very bad. The minute you can put it together, number one, you can get rid of the cars. You don't need the cars. Everybody can walk, scooter. Life becomes closer. But if I can give you a better quality of life, because we've done a lot of hotels and resorts, and we still do, and that's a good quality of life. But if I design a Four Seasons today, it's not just a resort hotel. It has residences. Oh, and the residences has to have the component that is nearby. And then you see right away, we do the office campus connected to it. And then guess what we do? We do the school and education. And it starts with the pre-K and it goes all the way to the high school. We do universities now that are connected to the building altogether. What happens to us architecturally, from a business standpoint, we create a good quality of life and maximize the values. Now, this is not about architecture, because whatever you like the building to look like, that's secondary. That's another discussion we can have. And the buildings we design in Dubai or Abu Dhabi are completely different from the buildings we design in Cape Town, South Africa. But the individual on the inside, it's always the same. Put the body parts together. Otherwise, the office is like having a heart here, having the lungs here, having the kidneys here. That is what we do. So we do it through putting it all together. We do it in a sustainable and resilient way, because that's how we make money. People only care about one thing and one thing only when they do the pro forma. I don't care who you are or where you are. If it does not make a business sense, the building will be empty. And all of you here know that there's quite a few empty buildings. We have them in the United States of America, and we have them here. You want to be able to sustain and make it resilient. A lot of it comes from being able to understand the quality of life. And that is what we do on a daily basis. That is the motivation of the design. It's the creation of the design. And historically, it's what has been the most successful for us. So that was the thought process that I wanted to bring to you here today. The most important thing is I'll give you a couple of examples. These buildings you're looking at, they're on the Miami River and on an area that nobody ever thought that would be successful in Florida. It's where the drug dealers used to pick up the drugs. The drugs would come from South America by boat. Here, they would pick them up, they would put them in cars and drive them throughout the lower 48 states. Here, we took the land, we went to the city, they said, this area is shit. We said, yeah, give us density. They gave us a lot of density, and we built residential, offices, food and beverage. We have next door a great school and a great university and a great hospital. So guess what? All of that became the life of that project with, again, all of us here. When we leave here, where we spend the most time is in the office, and that's the heart. And that's why I came here today. I came to give you a thought process that is a little bit different than most people think about today, and hopefully you'll use it to your satisfaction. Thank you for your time. Wait, I'm sorry. He asked me that if anybody has any questions or suggestions.
Of course.
They want to ask any. I have to take questions and suggestions. Thank you. Anybody has any questions? Oh, see, there's always one. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the speak. I like the idea of combining the residential area and the rest of the functions, but how you are dealing with the residential and the office together? The reason I'm asking about it, the expectation from these units are different. Let's say the offices are for 5 years or 10 years, and these are mostly for the organizations rather than the individuals. And the residential units are mostly for the individuals. They want to create home, or they are moving to a new town, and they want to have stability for long term. So how it's work with the office and the residential environments? Are there any challenges?
There's challenges all the time, and it's a thought process. And I'll give you an example. We have a building, it's a school. And the school said, we can't work anymore because the owners of the school were in their 80s, and there was nobody to pick it up. So they left the school, and we converted it into a design studio. But because the school was there, the teachers lived nearby. So the building of the residential was connected. So what did we do? We found a way to study the people. You always have to study the people and what it is that they do on a daily basis. And then you can push it in and make it work. I'll give you an example. If you do a shopping center and you are looking at the area, sometimes your tenants are service, food, beverage, for the community. But sometimes you need Gucci, Pucci, and Hermes, yes? But you don't need a lot, you just need a little bit. The same thing goes with these kind of developments. The office, I gave you the example in Wynwood. It's industrial area. The office component was small, it was a small heart. But the residential component was big, it was 300 apartments. And then, because the apartments were there, they brought in the food and the beverage. Came in a couple of Turkish guys. They opened up downstairs, a shawarma place in the Middle East. They're busy. Why? They can serve you cafecitos in the morning, Turkish coffee and tea with the pastries. And then they serve you the lunch. And then they deliver you the dinners also, even to your apartments. So their cash flow on a small space, 150 square meters, they are supplying not only the building, but the other buildings around. So you do the thought process reverse and backwards and upside down. Because you say to yourself, what is my challenge? My challenge is really, Kobi, nobody wanted to live here. There's no comps, The banks always say, give me the comparisons. There's no comparisons. It was an industrial area. But the minute you can start to breathe the air through the office use into the body of the residential and into the commercial retail, then guess what happens? People start to want to live there. And I'll take you just for another discussion. There's a place called Fisher Island in Florida. It's a very luxurious place, mostly for rich individuals. It was built in 1929 by a very well-known American family called Vanderbilt. They built the mansion, their Vanderbilt mansion. And it's a very important location because that's where the oil tanks are for the ships, and it's where the ships come in and out to Miami. So they built residential there, and the people lived there. 50 years. I showed up about 20 years ago. All of my clients and my friends there were in the 70s, 80s. That was 20 years ago. Guess where they are now? They're gone. They were great. They taught me a lot. Wait, who comes in their place? It's recycle. Istanbul has been here for thousands of years. You might know who lived in your building before you, but you don't know who lived in your building 50, 60, 100 years ago. Forget thousands. So Fisher Island, nice place. Who came in? Younger people, like you, no gray hair. Recently married, they started to buy the apartments, and then starts the heart. Oh, the apartment, it was elderly couple. They only needed 150, 200 meters maximum. But now you're going to buy it for you and your family. Oh, let's combine units. You start to combine units, residential units. You need less units, less people. But they're young. They have strollers. Instead of you have strollers. So the ramps are still good. We need the ramps. But guess what? We also now going to need a pre-K school. And what happens is that they need to work. So we build them a little office building. We build them a little retail. And this is in a rich, exclusive area. But that's a minority. That's not a lot of money. The big money is where I showed you, like this building here on Brickell. Brickell area in downtown Miami was a place where there was no residential. It was only commercial, only offices. It's completely different. The density in downtown Miami now is where everybody's coming in, the next generation. Same thing in Istanbul. You have the side on the Asia side and you have the European side. Guess what? Everybody's going to say, I want to live on the European side. And in 20 years, 30 years, they're going to say, oh no, I got to go back, I got to go back. That's what happens. This is the life and the history of cities. I don't care what city you have. And that is why your question is a critical question. It's a very important question, but it's the solution to the problem as long as you understand the problem. Anybody else? Good. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.